So yesterday after the game, I was not entirely sure what I thought I'd seen, but there was so much incident, so much VAR, so many goals in obviously what was, I struggle to call it, I've got to say, a 4-3 thriller, which is a bit of a tongue twister actually, but particularly when you're on the receiving end of it. But there was so much incident. I think I spent 18 minutes just talking about what happened in the game. I'm not really giving an awful lot of opinion, but I've got to say, after the game, which is when we're actually recording this, only like an hour and a half later, I was pretty annoyed with what I'd seen, because this is just more of the same. And I am sort of mindful that I lay into David Moyes quite a lot, but believe you me, just in the same against Aston Villa, in the first half, I was so willing to praise him after this. I want to praise David Moyes. I don't want David Moyes to fail. I want David Moyes to succeed. But unfortunately, what we've seen here is very, very predictable. And I even picked up on it in the preview, which was what's going to happen if we go into the lead and then you get to a point where the opposition are going to do some tactical switches. How's David Moyes going to respond? This is my view of what happened. I've got my old man here. I'm going to let him get a word in later on in the video. We're basically here to record a video for Patreon, which we'll be putting up on the Patreon channel. But I thought I'd get him here and just get his opinion. I've not spoken to him apart from to say, are you here for a call? Are you all right to do this? So I don't know his opinion on the game at all. But I just tell you this. It was just this weird situation where we're 3-1 up, and we were cruising. The front three had all scored, which is a brilliant thing. So to have your front three and they all score a goal. And Paqueta's there and he's pulling the strings. At least 2 assists. That's perfect. Your attacking midfielder is assisting and all your front three are scoring. I thought at the point, Mavropanos was like the Greek colossus. I was like a Greek god back there. And but we'll discuss those individual players in the video that we do on Patreon. I want to get to what happened here. 3-1, we're cruising. St James Park's gone silent. They're passing it around. Ole, ole, ole. That's all the West Ham fans. They're stuck up near the floodlights, right? The West Ham fans, right in the back of these, but you could hear West Ham fans having a right old time. I almost felt that Newcastle had given up. And we're passing it around, and then what happened was we decided to make the substitution and take Antonio off. Now I know we got fixture congestion, but that's not my fault, and it's not your fault we got a small squad. That's what David Moyes has decided to go with. We take Antonio off, and then we make that decision to go defensive. Here's the crazy thing. Shut up shop. We tried to shut up shop from the point we shut up shop. Newcastle didn't get the memo, by the way, that West Ham had gone defensive, right? West Ham had thought we'd opened up. Honestly, we'd open up the barn doors, basically. We conceded 3 goals. 3-1 up. We conceded 3 goals, having gone defensive. That is just it's not just tactical naivety. We've done it before. It doesn't work. The tactics don't work. Well, what doesn't he know? Why doesn't he understand that his sitting back doesn't work? We have got incredible players. Incredible players. Kudus was magnificent. Paqueta was magnificent. Bowen had a quiet game. He still scored and managed to get an assist. Antonio was smashing their defence, smashing them. What we had was a situation where you got the opposition on the ropes, and they're breaking. There's something very wrong with Newcastle's medical team or whatever they're doing. There's something not quite right for their players to all be doing that, right? And then you've got their left back. I know he's a giant, but you've got their left back playing in central defence. I know he's played there before and all that. But you've got this physical bull who's just smashing into them. A bunch of injured players. They didn't fancy it. Honestly, it was like we had them on the floor and we had our foot on their throats and we took our foot off and said, oh after, and we offered them the hand to let them back up. I am beside myself with this, and I thought it was important to mention all the VAR stuff in yesterday's video, because I was hopeful VAR was going to pick up the Anthony Gordon thing. I was hopeful of that. There was, maybe some dodgy business going on with a second goal as well, but that didn't happen. But after all that, if we don't go defensive, which doesn't work, our crappy, shitty defensive tactics, if we don't do that, we don't invite them upon us, and all that VAR stuff and all that other stuff never happens. Absolutely disgusted. How are you, mate?
The thing is, before the game started, you said in the preview about reacting to their substitutions. It was nothing to do with reacting to their substitutions. It was our substitution that was wrong. as you say, we had our foot on their throat when we took Antonio off. There's nothing wrong with taking Antonio off. What was wrong was bringing a defensive midfield player on. There is a reason that David Moyes holds the record for having the most defeats of any Premier League manager ever, right? And that's because he does stupid things like he did today. Their centre half, they'd made all their substitutions. When Antonio came on, they'd made all their substitutions. So it was up to us to take the initiative. But instead of taking the initiative, we not only took our foot off their throat, we lay down and said, please come and kick me. It was ridiculous. I had no problem in taking Antonio off as long as he brought on somebody who was going to attack and basically go at their centre half was complaining that he'd tweaked his hamstring.
Yeah.
Right? So at that point, bring somebody on who's going to attack him. It was the ideal opportunity to bring Cornet on, somebody who's got real bloody pace. And yeah, invite them to come on, but at least then go and attack them. Because Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta was pulling the strings, but they were basically doing what we do best, and that's counter-attacking. If we had Cornet at the front, in front of those two, we could have absolutely bloody killed them. But instead, we did what we always do. And I was down the pub watching the game, and I turned around to my mate, Liverpool supporter, and I said,
where's me? You said, where's me wallet?
No. He's a Liverpool supporter, but he's from down here.
All right.
And he's got no connection with Liverpool.
Right.
Anyway.
There's a lot of them, Man U fans as well.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it was the 50th minute, and I said, in the 60th minute, Moyes will make a defensive substitution. I got it wrong because I thought he'd bring Johnson on first rather than Phillips. And I wish he had brought Johnson on because Johnson has got an attacking bone. And he was, before today, relatively confident. What today has done to him, I don't know. But, it was not their substitutions that was wrong. It was our substitution that was wrong. And if we had gone with attacking intent, today was an opportunity to do something with our goal difference. Their defence was in complete disarray. They had players playing out of position all over the place. 3 of their starting defence was substituted, and of their starting defence, there was only 2 that were normal defenders anyway. Today was an open goal. Trippier wasn't playing.
Trippier? Hey, Christ, very French of you.
Oh, well,
how about that Tavernier who plays for Bournemouth?
and him. Well, he scored for Rangers today. Anyway, it was everything. It was all down to Moyes today, without any doubt. It was not a super managerial changes by Eddie Howe that did it, because Eddie Howe had very little choice in what he could do because these players were falling over injured, left, right, and centre, and he was having to adjust, and we just handed it to him on a plate. It was ridiculous. I am incandescent, and the thing is, it was just so bloody predictable. The thing is, for once, he actually left Antonio on to the 70th minute. If he'd done his normal and substituted at the 60th, we'd probably have lost 6-3.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Right, listen, we're going to leave it there because we're going to record. We're going to continue this rant. We're going to continue that on Patreon. I just wanted to have a little rant up now. You can go and see that rant if you want, by the way, because we've got a free trial over on Patreon. patreon.com/Hammers Chat, free 7-day trial. Get over there. You might like what you see. It's not all ranting. We've got a lot of stuff. I'm really looking forward this week, actually, to getting Anton's opinion on what's just happened, particularly as a defender as well. That sort of level of pressure being invited upon us. We'll have the tactical breakdown from the boys at Hammerlytics there. And we've got a lot more going over there. Patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Go and check it out. Right, we're going to go and continue our rant now.